let's just say you was walking a property, right? And you wanted your
Yeah.
partner to see the inside of the property. You did a Facebook Live for him to watch.
Don't do it. Not if it's one you're buying. Don't do it unless you're doing 506C. I'm going to leave it at that. You don't have to say anything else.
Yeah. So, and that's called kind of priming the market, right? So we're not talking about, look, guys, I just completed this due diligence on this beautiful property, right? Not putting that information on social media, because that's considered priming the market.
So that's a good question though, Hutch, because what I would do in that scenario, because you're wanting to show people your knowledge and you're wanting to show people, you understand what this will look like. I would just take an apartment complex, make sure you don't have the name on it and the phone number. So you're not using it to advertise, but just film an apartment complex and say, if I were doing this, if I were going to take this down, this is what I would do. I might do this, I might do this, I might do this. And then you take a little drive through the neighborhood. I like this. I don't like this type of demographic. I don't like these type of houses. I don't think there's enough traffic. This is just how I look at properties, and I would just say something like that. You're just showing people how to do due diligence on a property. You're not actually going after that property. But what you've done is you've educated people, or you're allowing people to see that you're an educated person when it comes to looking at these type of things. But if you're talking about a property you're thinking about going after, you've just primed the target audience. Hey, I'm going after this property. And you can do it, but you've just restricted yourself to doing a 506C.
And that
now,
makes sense.
You got to get caught. That's the thing. But what did I start with earlier? When you're raising capital, you're going to get one or two investors that sometimes are not just a pain in the ass. Sometimes they will get the people that put you in jail. And I'm not trying to scare people, but Cindy and I are currently working on several deals where there's one or two investors and they're making life a living hell for about 9 clients. It's not the same investor, but it's the same type of investor. Listen, distributions weren't made on most deals Q1 of 2020 because of COVID. People wanted to make sure they had enough cash. Still uncertain, at the time of this podcast, I don't know what unemployment's going to be, but right now it's at 39 million people. So the prudent investor, prudent syndicator, probably didn't make distributions in Q1 unless they were just sitting on huge amounts of revenue, which is good for them, but the majority didn't. So now what happens is you have, and most of these people that create the issues, many times, I shouldn't say most, are sophisticated investors and not accredited. Sophisticated don't have the same net worth, meaning they don't have the same capital reserves, cash reserves. So mom and pa put that 50 grand or that 100 grand, which was, 25, 30%, maybe even 50% of their savings. And they were relying on cash flow. And all of a sudden there's no cash flow. So they're freaking out and they don't have the staying power to stay, to kind of right the ship up, so to speak. So they're going to look back and try to find anything they can hang their hat on saying, you owe me my return. I want my money back. I'm going to go talk to the other investors. You should have made a distribution. So anyway, those are the people you try to avoid. You always get them. So our advice to people that are doing syndications and that are sponsoring, don't go gray. We tell you what we believe based on our experiences and our discussions with the SEC. Some clients still determined to go gray. We have our own CYA language. That's kind of a Marine term, I'm sure. But I'm going to say it. You can't fix stupid. That's Cindy's line, but you can't fix stupid. You can't fix greed is what it is.